Hello, hello. It is your girl, Aquame. I don't know why I said it like that, but hey guys, how is it going? I am here to do a collective reading. It's going to be a collective energy check-in. We're going to use the E-King cards today. If you haven't used or you haven't seen these or seen me use them before, I use them with the dice instead of using the coins because it is a coin system of divination. But these cards are very useful and the dice work just as well with it to get how many cards we need, okay? So sit back and relax. I'll explain a little further in a moment. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here with me today. There should be a message in here for you if you click on this reading. So take it as it resonates, leave the rest for whoever else may need it. And let's get this going. Let's get this started. Okay, we're calling in our angels, our ancestors, our guardians, and our guides, our higher selves in alignment with the universe. And God is always and forever with us. So, all right, I don't know why I'm trying to shuffle with the dice in my hand. But the dice I'm going to use, I usually have two. Don't ask me where my other one went. But I am going to roll the dice and twice and see what number I get. If it's an even number, then we're going to get two cards. If it's an odd number, then we'll get one card. Okay, so let's see. At this time, collective, what is it that we need to know from the I Ching? Please, Spirit, Universe, let us know. How many cards do we need at this time for the message? We got 5. Ooh. And I'm going to take that again. We got 10. So we got 5 again. Okay, so 2 5s. 5 and 5. Something is building. A lot of changes are happening. There may be obstacles that you're overcoming. You're learning how to get over the hump, get around things with those 5s, those double 5s. So like massive changes, massive, I'm hearing like decluttering, removing things, changing things up, switching things around, putting in more effort with something to get through it, to change it around, to get what you want out of it. Okay, so let's get 2 cards here because we got the number 10. All right, 2 cards, Spirit. Let's see. I'm sorry. I don't know why I just said sorry, but yeah, I'm not sorry. So we have number 26, the Great Taming. Let me get one more card for the collective. The Great Taming says consistency bears fruit. Not eating at home, good fortune. Ooh, wow, interesting. And then fruitful to cross the great river. Oh, God, that was a lot of cards. 3 cards came out. You know what? I think they want 1 because when the dice fell on me, the 6 number fell. It showed. So that means it would have been an 11 and I should have only picked 1 card. So I'm going to respect that because when I shuffled, 3 other cards came out and I didn't ask for that many. So I'm going to listen to my spirit at this time. But you have number 26. Hello, hello. How are you? All right. Thank you for being here with me. So you have consistency bears fruit. Not eating at home, good fortune. Fruitful to cross the great river. Okay, so the message on the back says taming meaning, taming means building up and controlling natural resources and nurturing their growth with an eye on what can be achieved in the future. Steady persistence over time will yield good results. You can now move beyond mere survival. Nourish yourself on new experiences and allow your gift to be of greater service. It says, how can you make the most of the potential? And how could it be, and how would it be to master this? So how would you feel? Like what would it give you to accomplish such great feats, right? This is talking about investments. This talks about the time that it takes for something, your persistence, your learning how to control, how to master something, all right? Whether it be a skill, whether it be your work that you're doing or something like you can be doing with your family, right? You're trying to convert your family to something different maybe with this great taming, and it's not easy to try to get everybody on board. All right, so this is something where it just seems like a really big task or a really big thing, and it's about getting control of it. All right, so not eating at home, that part was very interesting, but I understand it because it's like allow something to grow how it's supposed to and don't try to take from it and not replenish it, right? So it's like don't just take. You have to be able to give into this situation. All right, so it says, I'm going to read it again for you guys. All right, it says taming means building up, and controlling natural resources, and nurturing their growth with an eye on what can be achieved in the future. Right? So you're looking at something right now in this present moment, and you're seeing the potential of it out in the future, whether it be next week, whether it be tomorrow, whether it be in the next few hours, but you're seeing the potential of something. So it's like once you can see that whole full scope, you have to now tame it. You have to give it direction. You have to give it attention. You have to give it, this steady persistence to get it to where it's supposed to be, right? To get it moving, to keep it moving, to keep it growing. All right. And after that, it says steady persistence over time will yield good results. You can now move beyond mere survival. So we're not working on survival mode, right? That those 2 5s that are there talks about that survival mode. We don't want to be in survival mode. We don't want to feel like every day is hard or something is always just happening to us. I can't win for nothing, right? I can't win for losing. That's what I'm hearing somebody say. So it's not, we're moving beyond that because we're starting to see something for what it is and how to actually obtain it, how to actually get it, how to get that to the end, right? But it says nourish yourself on a new experience and allow your gifts to be of greater service. Okay, so that is the I Ching read. I felt like I needed to read that a few times for you guys. The I Ching is a hexagram that you can look up online. So look up number 26 hexagram and see what you get out of that. All right, because it may be calling to you in your situation in some sort of way. Something it is that you're trying to get underneath control. Using all your resources to do so as well, or the right resource, not all your resources, but using the right resources, using them the right and correct way to yield the best results, right? Let me get one card here for this great taming, please. What is this energy for the collective? I'm not doing personal readings, my dear. If you need one, hit the contact, not the contact, hit the description box for my contact information. But let's see, let me get one card here for the, you know what? I don't know what's up with the cards today, guys. They don't want to shuffle for us. They just flying out. They got a lot to say. I haven't done a collective reading in like 2 weeks, so they got a lot to say to y'all. We're going to try one more time. 1 to 2 cards max, please. For the collective with the great taming. What is this energy? What are we taming? Or what are we going to use to help us tame this energy? Sanctity, peace. All right, sanctity. This card is golden. This golden color. It seems very rich, right? Your peace is rich. It's like you can't pay for peace. You just have to have it. It's something that you're born with, and you have to just obtain it within you, right? You get into that state, all right? And this energy also, this card says something about being mundane, like mundane problems. So this is where the great taming, where it's like these little details of things, right? The mundane is the small, the detail, the minute. So there's like these little annoyances where they can be fixed so that you don't have irritation behind it or something like that. Like you can get to where you want to go now because this has been fixed, right? This is out of the way now. So there's something here about making sure that you have this sense of peace. They said no more from there. All right, let's see. We're going to get a few oracle messages out before we get to tarot. The truth. All right, there's a reflection here. So if something is feeling like a heavy task, it's like asking you to kind of look at yourself and see why this task is heavy for you. Why does it feel heavy? Why does it feel like you can't be at peace with something? All right. Why is it that you see maybe something to be too much of a burden even this is really looking in the mirror here. She has this mirror and it's some type of reflection of this energy, right? So something that you're trying to you're trying to tame, you're trying to gain control over, but there is this sense of peace. That's the only control you have is of your peace, right? And that's where everything starts to kind of reflect back to you in a different way with that mirror being here on this truth card. The truth also talks about understanding someone else's truth as well and being at peace with that, right? You may not understand why something or why somebody does something a particular way, right? And it's not always for you to understand, but it is for you to have peace with the fact that you can understand their viewpoint, or you can, just get to a point where it's like, you know what, I get this person has issues, or this person has, you know, this going on in their life, and maybe this is why I was, you know, it's not really giving excuses for something, but it's really like honestly giving an honest, truthful look at something and getting an honest, truthful answer back, right? Not a false sense of hope or a false sense of reality either. Let me get one card. Thank you. We have this energy keeps coming out of the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. I got it in, I feel like, a few other readings. That card just kept showing up in some way, shape, or form. So the sacral chakra, even the color of this golden card, if you do not see it, this is about relationships. This is about the people that you engage with, the things that you engage with, right? Getting an honest look at it and seeing if it's healthy. This is about taming our unhealthy habits, our unhealthy lifestyles, our unhealthy ways, right? And I get it, because we all have them. And I feel like at this time moving forward, we're about to have a lot of reality checks. Like everybody's going to be getting reality checks in whatever area of their life that they need it. So don't be surprised when it comes up. Like, know that it's coming. Know that these reality checks are there for us to check ourselves, to look in the mirror, to stop and think for one moment and go, wait a minute. Everything is not as it should be. The sacral chakra does talk about the things that the desires that we have. This is very also young energy. She looks like a young girl on this card. A very young and youthful energy. All right, so there's something here about being, having vitality, having your life force put back into you, right? Getting your life force back. Let's see what else we get. All right, let's clarify this energy here. Let's clarify this energy for the collective. What is this overall energy? What is this that we are kind of taming here? What is the collective taming? The Eight of Wands came out with the Ten of Cups. You have big desires, big dreams, big goals. You have a lot to, like the Ten of Cups is like satisfying everything, right? And the Eight of Wands is going after that completely. And I feel like because there's 2 wands missing from the 10, because there's 10 cups and 8 wands. So there's 2 cups that necessarily don't have a wand, but I feel like those are the 2 cups that are very much developed. Like they're where you pull from. There's no need to kind of put energy and focus onto it, because you can get what you need out of it that gives fuel and passion and creativity into other areas of your life. So understand that at this time, a lot of creative ideas may come to you. You need to control that. You need to tame that energy. Write down things. Journal, right? Put some type of energy. Place it somewhere with this Ten of Cups. Like, place it somewhere where you feel the satisfaction from it. Place that energy there. Like, you're feeling geared towards something, then gear it towards something. And be, give yourself that sense of happiness. But this is also about the family. Getting the family all on track. Like, you could definitely be, everybody's kind of going here, there, and everywhere. They have their own things that they're doing. I'm getting like the mom, she got to go to work. Her kids are in sports after school. The husband's here. It's like all types of things are going on. And everybody is still coming together though, right? Those 2 cups where they're already strong. There's a place to come to. Even when everybody's kind of going where they're supposed to be going. But there definitely could be a conversation here. You have the Mastery of Coins, which is the King of Coins in this deck, which I love because it's a woman on this card. All right. I don't know if this was an error in this deck that they made this king a woman, because not all the other cards are like that. But nonetheless, why I say that I like this, because, as a feminine energy, you're like the master of the household, right? That feminine energy of making sure things are in order, making sure, even if it's not like the household, because this could be at work, this could be just within your friend group. You're the one that kind of holds everything together, the glue. There's something about being the glue to something. This is really good energy. The Eight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Coins. That's a lot of success. That's a lot of happiness. But you know what? I want to say this. It takes time. It takes time. You have to sacrifice sometimes going and doing certain things that you may really truly want to do so that you get what you need done. That's what I'm seeing here too. Yeah. The 4 of Coins and the 2 of Coins. You're doing what you have to do at this time to get things done, and that's good. Everything, it's like landing. Everything, if you're feeling overwhelmed at this time, it's okay because what you're doing is working. You know what I mean? So the eight of wands is here with this 10 of cups. It's like you're putting all of your efforts into keeping things in harmony, keeping everyone happy, making sure people aren't uncomfortable. I get that you are feeling, making sure that you yourself are comfortable, right? You have all your needs met. You don't feel like you're lacking in any sort of way. But I do see this energy of, and not a bad thing at all, but it's just the energy of things being transferred and they sit for a little while, right? So it's like something, it happens, but then it sits for a second with the 2 of coins and the 4 of coins. So with that waiting, it's something like a waiting period or something. Waiting for someone to come with, it's like you got to hold your position and wait for something else to happen, right? You have to wait for the tides to turn. You have to wait for something to shift around, all right? Whether you have to wait because of your finances or you have to wait because of timing, or it could be waiting because of somebody else's engagement in a situation where the timing is of the essence. The 4 of wands. This card is so beautiful. You see this card? I don't know if you see. I love this card. These cards are so gorgeous. There's blues and greens and just colorful cards that are on here. But this 4 of wands is giving me harmony. It's giving me this energy of, you know, things working out, following the path and leading in, you know, you're following the right path. I feel like this energy here is somebody who just feels overwhelmed. Take frequent breaks. Okay, make sure you do that. Make sure you take frequent breaks so you're not burning yourself out. You don't feel too overwhelmed with things. Yep, the 9 of wands and the strength card. And the 4 of swords, literally, what I just said. You need to take breaks. This 4 of wands, she looks like she's tired. She's been building. She's been working. She's been shooting her goal, meeting her goals. She's not missing a beat, right? There's energy here, or he or she is not missing a beat. The strength card is just like that tireless, endless, relentless energy, the great taming. You have to accomplish this goal, and there's no time for breaks is maybe what you're feeling or thinking. But the 4 of swords, I feel like this is a regrouping of thoughts, the regrouping of oneself, the time that you need to sit down and just think, be in this moment of sanctity, of feeling like you need the you have a space or something like that where you can just be at peace. So that waiting game of in between, when everything is moving, and the moment that it's like you have an opportunity to slow down, do so. Don't think that nothing is going anywhere. Like, time is passing, yes, but you're not losing out. Somebody needs to know that. It's okay. Like, you push, but there is time for rest that's needed. It's needed. Yeah. Yep, you're regrouping your thoughts. You have the Queen of Swords, the nurturer of swords here. Okay, I told you that. Now all the women are kings in this deck. But nonetheless, why do I keep my shirt is all open, guys. I'll be looking at my boobies. But the King of Swords is here, and I feel like this is somebody that when, you know, the energy, when you need to stop and think and you do so, you get so much clarity, right? When you go through all your meetings, you had 20 meetings, right? And at the 20th meeting, you're like, all right, I sat down. Now I have time for myself to do what I got to do. You get so much clarity at that moment. At least it's something that you need to do. And if you have 20 meetings, hey, maybe you need to take a break at the 10th. Take some sort of break. Because things are moving. They're falling into place very well at this time. For whoever energy this is falling into place how it should, how it needs to. The Hermit card, but you need time. The great taming can't happen if you are overworked. The great taming can't happen if you're not in your utmost top shape. This is 26, which equals 8, and you have the strength card that came out here. All right, this resiliency, this strength, this power, that's like this overdrive, that vitality, right? It's like you get it and you utilize it to its fullest force, and sometimes that's overdoing it. Okay, because the questions on this card say, how can you make the most of the potential? And how would it be to master this? So you have to figure out your best plan of action, your best game plan, so that you're not burnt out, so that you're not overdoing it, so that you still have time to enjoy the world and the Hermit. Yeah, you have time to enjoy. and the teacher, which is the Hierophant here. So again, there's stuff here that you're going through. If you go through it too fast, you're not going to absorb all the information that you need. You're not going to absorb all the lessons because it's like you're speeding through something way too quickly. This Hermit card says, take a moment, sit down, look, and it don't need to be for that long. It doesn't need to be because the energy is going to be shifting and moving. But when the energy shifts to a point where you have an opportunity to think, to stop, to sit, to reflect, to look at yourself and say, wait a minute, let me get myself back. Do that. Really, really do that. I feel like you have a lot going on. You tend to a lot of different needs of others, right? And when you tend to the needs of others, you have to make sure that you're in a good space to do so. If you're the head of the household, guess what? Well, the head of the household needs assistance too, needs help too. They need a break. They need a moment so that they can actually figure out. But I feel like whatever, there's a situation here where a lot is going to be coming to you to switch things around. Like, because that's why the moment is there, because everything is just happening. And it's like you need to tame that energy, how fast things are coming, how quickly they're changing, the adjustments that you have to make. You need a moment to absorb that. Okay, you definitely need that. Yeah, the Sacred Masculine is at the bottom at this deck, which is was she here? No, I thought the Empress came out, but this is the Emperor card in this deck. So taking charge of your life, your schedule, your peace, your time, really, right? The Sacred Masculine, like he's concerned about his well-being because he knows that his well-being is what gets the job done. You know what I mean? His strength, his power with the Emperor comes from him taking care of himself, with him having certain routines in place, having certain things in place that allow you time to break and tame the energy, the chaotic energy, and create some sort of order. All right. What else do we have here for the collective? We have the Tower. Isolation is the first word on this card. You need a moment. It's not long. I'm keep telling y'all, it's not a long moment, right? This isolation is needed. The ego is here, right? There's a sense of authority, but there's loneliness with that authority because you know why? No one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you how to do it. So sometimes you got to sit down with yourself, reflect, and tell yourself what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. This is what's going to happen. This is where we made a misstep. This is what, you understand me? This is where I could have done better. Maybe like, okay, I'm seeing like, because I know men love like the replays. I always say that. Men love, like on sports, when they say, oh, well, this just happened. The replay, the recap, right? I feel like men always do that. They want to wrap up the night. I don't know why I'm getting that, but there's something about that being like being able to sit down and recap, look it all over, analyze it and go, okay, doom, this is how I'm moving now, right? So then everything always hits on target like that. And that's a good thing. I like that. Is you be flying, but you still got direction. You still got purpose. You're not just running around willy-nilly. The Heart is here with the Tower. I feel like your heart can't be contained, your talent can't be contained, right? And there's a lot of people out here that admire what it is you're capable of, but they're also intimidated by it as well, right? You have this time to take action, and then you have the anchor. That's two different energies, right? The time to take action and the anchor. Anchor, you have to put that anchor down when you need a moment. Even the heart is floating. Right? Even this heart is on the move. There's a lot of movement here, but this anchor card and this Tower card tells you to sit down for a moment. Maybe go to a coffee shop, sit down and think. Maybe go to a bookstore, get a new book, get a new pair of shoes. I don't know. Do something though that's not of what it is that you have your main focus on, and it'll bring clarity. Something you need some sort of clarity here. It's a step out of your comfort zone. Okay, so at the bottom of here, with the North Node, you're following your path wholeheartedly, but we need moments to make sure that we're always still on that path. Right? We need time for that. Let me get a few more. The Cross, it flew out upside down. You don't feel obligated to certain things, right? You don't feel like you have to stay in the structure. I feel like you feel like it's unnecessary. Like that's an old system that certain people enjoy working under. You know, they enjoy operating underneath this heavy structure, but I don't feel like this is where you are, especially with the cross coming out upside down. The burden is dropped. The big problem is no longer there. The grief has been like, this is like letting go of that. It says religion and fate. So this is even coming out of religion and now having all this information come to you in a different level, and you're trying to understand it, you're trying to tame it, you're trying to and make sure that you're not opening up your heart to every and anybody with the snake card. Okay, because there is a lot of information. Everybody's is gonna have a story to tell you, and it's like you have to be discerning with what is real, what is fake, right? Because people can see through you, they can see through your light, and when they see that it's really bright and you don't notice it yourself, or you're just in a stage of like, it's okay, this is new to me, so let me get all the I don't know, something like that. Like, don't be so gullible. That's the word I'm looking for. Don't be gullible with people, right? Just like you left a situation that you feel like you may have gotten out of, just understand that what you learned from that about people, take that with you, but don't necessarily, not everybody's going to be like that, but be wary of those type of people that you just escaped from, you just got yourself untangled from. But you have the mountain and the book, so there's something here that you have to learn and you have to understand it. If you don't fully understand it, it won't make sense to you. So this time to take action with the mountain. Yeah, you want to take action, but there's things you don't know yet, and I feel like that's where you go in and you study it. You start to work at it. You start to get better at it. You start to, get in the right direction. And that anchor with the knowledge is when you are ready to lift up that anchor, you will be, right? Because you'll have the right information that you need. You'll feel confident. You'll feel, now I know where my arrow is landing, right? I like that. All right. Let's see. I want to get some of my other cords here. I like this energy. I hope you guys are resonating with the message. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And so it says you decide, right? So you have decisions to make, choices to make. It's not one clear-cut thing here. All right, it says when you give of yourself freely, you expand your energy. If you only give to get, it will feel like a burden or drain. Be genuine, give from the heart. And that's interesting because this card says burden and you have the heart. All right, so you are giving from your heart, and this is where the burdens drop, right? This is where you don't feel so heavy on things because you know your true intent with something. Oh. Exactly as you are. I love it. The one who is always dissatisfied with the present moment will never have a better future. Give yourself permission to feel content right now, right here. Okay, so understand that you have a choice, right? Nobody can't make you feel like that. I feel like you definitely have people around you that want you to stay held down, that don't, when you say things about you changing, they don't necessarily want to see you change. They like you exactly as you are, right? It's convenient for them, but you may not feel as comfortable in that energy. And I feel like that's where you decide energy is coming into play. It's like, that's not me anymore. This is who I am now. This is what I want to do. This is direction I'm going. We have the right to change our mind at any moment, right? And you are fine exactly as you are too. You don't have to be dissatisfied. If you are, then make yourself satisfied. Duh. And it says you will get there. This card reminds me of this card. Look at that. The Four of Wands. Can't make it up. You will get there. You will get to that Four of Wands, to that place that you're calling home, to that place where you feel comfortable at, right? To that place where you feel most whole. It says you can't force flowers to grow or plants to sprout. Be patient and respect that everything happens in its own way and time. All right. So understand this great taming of something too. Flowers grow in the timing that they're supposed to. And sometimes the process of a flower growing, depending on the flower, depending on what is growing, whether it be a human or what, and the conditions that it's growing, it may be a little chaotic. But that doesn't mean it can't grow. All right. And you're actually technically not a flower because flowers can't move, but you can, right? You can change your conditioning. You can change the state in which you grow in. You don't have to stay in the mud. You don't have to stay feeling like everything is just happening for you and you have no control over it. Because you do have some control. Or you have a lot of control over what happens to you and for you and around you. Okay? So remember that part. But yeah, that's the message, guys. I hope it resonated for you out there. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.